Hello again, friends. As you can see, we've ventured outside today. We are here outside of Shiba Games in Henderson, Nevada, where we have gotten up early at the crack of noon to go in for free RPG day. There's a few cool offerings on the table, and they're the only store anywhere near us that is offering the games and the goodies today. So there's already a few people in line, so we're gonna go jump in front and see what we can get. We are back. So earlier we were at Free RPG Day. We are here to give you a little wrap up and a little taste of what you'll find on a free RPG day at your local game store.
So the first thing that I wanted to point out that's really surprising is that that store was the only location within a 4-hour radius that was participating. And we're in Las Vegas, which is not a small town.
Yeah, we have about 8, I want to say, just off the top of my head, local game stores in the area that are, some of them are pretty sizable and pretty well known. And
it's crazy because, you know, Free Comic Book Day is huge. It's an annual event. Like, people cosplay and show up and get so excited. And this was like, you said that there was a line in the video, but there were like 2 dudes casually standing outside.
Yeah, there was a few people. I mean, a few more did show up right at opening along with us. There's a good number of people hanging around, but not compared to our Free Comic Book Days. So first, this might not be the thing with every store that participates, but at Shiba there was kind of a limiter on it where it was one of the free books per purchase made at the store, or per item bought. Now, not everyone's in the position to do so. I'm never one to go against supporting a local game shop, so happily made a few purchases there to get our way in to get some books, and then a few other items that were like only got one of at the store, and those were on the premium table. So with a purchase of $30, you could get one of the items off the premium table. So we got a couple of those. We didn't get everything, obviously, so there's 1 book per purchase or per item. So we ended up getting
the ones that called out to us the most.
Yes, we got 2 of the premium items and then 5 of the books as well. And with those books, the ones that were probably most important to us play-wise, but there were items from all kinds of publishers, mostly independent publishers, but really all sizes. And it's just a matter, you can see how high quality these books are and what kind of stuff you should go hunting out for. First of the premium items I picked up, they only had 1 of these at the store, and I think these are 1 per kit. Whenever a store hosts a free RPG day, they get a pre-bundled kit. And this one had 1 set of these dice, and I don't know why nobody else picked it. I wasn't even the first person out of line, nor was it the first person who spent more than $30. Maybe it was a pin collector, because there were some acrylic pins there as well, but man, these are beautiful dice. Like laser cut, very sharp edge, very beautiful red and black acrylic. The set is stamped on the D6 with the Free RPG Day logo and the date, so it makes the set like kind of limited edition to the year, and man, people passed these beautiful shiny math rocks up. I couldn't believe it. So grab those. And
then the other one we got is, because this is one of my favorite races, they had a little Herringon mini. There's too many of the limited figures for the Herringons, because there's also the one with the bow, and there's one with like a sword or something.
It has an axe.
An axe. But this guy's pretty cool too, because it's a weapon you don't really see. What are these even?
It's like 2 bludger sticks, I want to say.
Yeah, it just says Herringon Brigand. But anytime I get a Herringon is a good day.
So the main reason we went down there were our 5 books, so we'll go over those a little bit as well. So first off, had to get the Vampire the Masquerade book. We've been talking about doing a campaign of this for a while, and so this would be a great way for us to maybe do a one-shot adventure in here. This is a really, I was looking over the stories for all of these, and they're really some great little stories to try out. So this one features a new like synthetic blood type, or new blood that's being distributed
like a through
through vampire society in your local town, and it's creating overdoses or has like a addicting effect on it. And so your crew of anarchs is looking to find out the source of the blood and see what it's actually made of, how they're making it, how they're distributing it and everything, and get into some trouble that way. So a very cool idea for an adventure. really, they don't have a whole lot of pre-made adventures for Vampire. The source books are very well detailed, but you don't get a lot of just like, here's your plot for you to make it really easy for your storyteller. So very cool to get that one in the collection.
So it'd be good for like a first-time DM for that game.
Definitely. Inside, aside from a adventure with a cool storyline and lots of great full-color artwork, you're going to find 6 pre-made characters of different clans, including favorites like Malkavian, Gangrel, Toreador, and others of the classic original clans and forward for you to use. And honestly, a great kind of a gothic adventure. This one's got a pretty action-y climax. I already kind of looked ahead to see in hopes of running it down the line. So potentially a very cool first intro into the vampire world. So
the next one we got was the Pathfinder A Few Flowers More. They actually had 2 different Pathfinder books, and we chose this one because it looks kind of like Fairy Realm-ish. It is a sequel to a previous game, Fistful of Flowers. You can see the theme to the titles, but it does say you can play it on your own without having played the first one. This is one where some like rebel fae have opened up a portal into a forest, so you're playing like forest protectors. So you're playing Leshy, which is really neat. They're just like plant creatures. So there's 4 different character profiles in the back. They have different classes, like typical classes you'd be familiar with. So you have like a druid, a bard, a barbarian, and a rogue. But they all look really different. Like this guy looks like a mushroom. This one looks like a snapdragon. So they're all very, very unique looking, which I like because I've never seen like a race like that. It is pretty thin, so I think it's a really short adventure. It'd be a good one to get done in a day, like a true one shot. So I think it would definitely be a good introduction. The only thing I will mention is that it doesn't really break down the rules. Pathfinder is its own system, so you would have to reference their actual rule book in order to play this.
Right, and that's true. Most of these are meant to be samplings or one shot, so you just get an idea of what the game is like, how it's played, etc., and maybe dip your toes in, find something new. Not every entry really has the rules laid out for you. So Vampire expects you to have some sort of semblance of the rules available, though it does have great advice for like how to run the campaign or how to structure the story in it. The Pathfinder one is more just like maps, combat, no semblance of the rules whatsoever, so you better have the starter kit or something alongside it as well. And this next one here also is one that is cool to pick up even without the book out. The book isn't even out yet, which is why this one caught my eye. Dragonbane. This one's from Free League, who are the publishers of the recent One Ring RPG, as well as the kind of cult hit Morkborg RPG, and have made some very high quality books. And this is their own new unique system that's coming up. Actually, they seem to be that. They do have some 5e compatible, like Lord of the Rings books out now, but they seem to be a company that just does make a lot of unique systems, because One Ring and Morkborg are both also unique, and this one is a D20 system, but it is unique in that the rolls are more like Call of Cthulhu, in that you want high stats because you're trying to roll under the numbers. There's no modifiers, it's just raise the number, roll under that number. So it's pretty straightforward at your character sheets. But there's a good quick start version of the rules just in this little pamphlet, so you can just get rolling with just it ahead of the main book coming out later this year. And it's a nice, quick snatch and grab adventure. You play as 4 to 6 heroes that are going into a crypt, a burial mound, where a group of grave robbing orcs and goblins have all gone missing. You're going in to find them / get the loot for yourself, knowing that the temple is supposed to be haunted by the spirit of a powerful wight. Pretty classic dungeon crawling adventure, and I think that one could be really neat. One thing I like about this that's different, just for me, most of the base races you can play as are pretty typical, like fantasy fair, human, dwarf, elf, etc. But the one that's really unique to them is the mallard. So there's a race of duck people.
And they have wolf people too.
That are here, and the wolfkin as well. But there's a playable one of each of those in the 6 pre-gen characters that are in the back of here as really well. Cool. So yeah, very fun looking adventure as well, so looking forward to trying that out.
So the next one I got was Animal Adventures: The Faraway Sea, Apocalypse Meow. So I was tempted to get this one because a friend got me a pack of the cat minis from this, and I've been curious about playing it. So this one is It's also really impressive size, so it's a good one-shot adventure. It says that all you need is the book and dice, character sheet, and the map that's in the center of the book. So you can get pre-built characters on their website. There's a QR code in it, so you just scan the QR code, and then there's I think they have a pre-built character for every class. They have 6 pre-built characters in there. And then you're going to an island to rescue this corgi who's been captured by Clopton cats. So you're trying to go rescue the corgi.
That one's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the name, but they tried. So it's your adventure trying to make it to rescue the corgi, and it sounds pretty cute and fun. You can also access the rule book. That's what it looked like on the through the QR code on their website as well.
And our last pickup, and though I probably would have gone anyway just to see what the offerings were, this is the one that made me say I had to go out for the year.
And you had to be there at opening for it.
So it is the Legend of the Five Rings Adventures in Rokugan, one-shot adventure, Storm Eel's Rest. Adventures in Rokugan is the D20 version of Legend of the Five Rings, which was put out by Edge Studios almost a year ago. Came out last Gen Con. And this is really the first bit of supplemental material they've had for that. If you're more interested in that too, learning more, we do have a video already made with our introduction from when we first went through the core rulebook for that. But so your first standalone adventure for this, which takes place in the islands of the Yaski, which is the Crab Clan, defected from the Crane Clan. It's right on the border, so if you're knowledgeable of the lore and are fans of either the Crane or Crab clans, they are both in there. And because it is water-based, a little bit of the Mantis appearing in there as well. Fan favorites, the Mantis, too. The adventure sees those clans who are normally kind of rivals, having to team up in order to take on a supernatural threat that threatens both of their shipping trades and their glory at the same time. Bit of a political loss of face if you can't defend your space from this threat that's coming at you and everything. So, all the usual Five Rings trappings. As always, features amazing artwork and great lore and a few pre-made characters from the different clans. The one thing I will say I'm not a huge fan of, and that's just me, is it does have some of the non-human character races and everything available in the pre-gens. Those aren't my preference. I know that they're part of the Adventures in Rokugan setting. I prefer to have just plain samurai lost in a magical world kind of thing, but your mileage may vary. You can use whichever ones of them that you like. The templates are there, and regardless, the characters do look pretty dope. I have to admit that the Mantis spirit, who's a resurrected ghost trying to get revenge on this supernatural thing that had killed him before, is a pretty dope storyline to use. As far as the rules, this one again uses the D20 system, so you're probably familiar enough to at least have a base go at it without having the actual Adventures in Rokugan book. But if you do happen to have that, of course, it has more combat options that are a little different than 5e that will be useful when you're in battle in this one too. Again, those are our offerings, pretty good. The real question, again, we kind of asked this at the beginning, is why don't more stores, do this? I was looking on their website, and about 500 stores across the worldwide, participate in Free RPG Day, whereas by comparison, about 2,000 stores in the US alone participate in Free Comic Book Day. So I don't know if it's something that maybe the stores haven't grabbed onto, or
maybe
if
they don't want to pay for the...
And that might be a thing, because the stores do at the front the money for it, and sometimes they don't like the idea of people just coming and grabbing stuff and bailing. But
Which is why they had the purchase.
Exactly. What do you think that people might want to do in order to try to pump up the day and get more people attending?
I don't know. I think it definitely needs to be advertised more, because I didn't even know it was a thing if you hadn't told me.
Over the years, Free Comic Book Day, as the comparative, freebie thing, has become like a national force, especially with the rise of like the MCU, all the movies. Its weekend always coincides with a big Marvel movie. Luckily, the fans of a few of these other systems got wind and talked about it enough that, word got to us, so we knew what was going on with it. I might also suggest that, like the enthusiasm of stores might be a thing. They should really try to turn it into kind of an event so that the customers spread the word about it. So by comparison for us, and I'll grant you, Vegas is a unique kind of nerd town. You wouldn't necessarily think it, but I've been in other cities that don't go nearly as all in on Free Comic Book Day as ours do. Yeah. But every store in the city out here will have people doing signings, people doing art, people in costume,
giveaways.
It is a major event where people will stand in line There are hundreds of people
Yeah.
in the stores. So, I mean, and we can hope Shiba Games maybe found for themselves some new customers in here. They certainly seem to think it was worthwhile.
So that's going to do it for this video. If you participated, let us know what books you picked up. If you made it this far, please leave the stack of books emoji so that we know that you made it to the end of the video. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.